Well, hello, and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. The Manifesting Tarot reading that is strictly a reading. In other words, we don't get any visuals. Well, you do have what you see on your screen, the tarot layout for today, but that's it. Otherwise, it's up to your imagination to fill in the blanks, and that's the most important part because improving your imagination also improves your manifesting ability. You reach into your subconscious and you pull out the feelings, the ideas that are so critical to you manifesting properly and accurately and quickly, hopefully, as well. Also, it's a good thing for people who are multitaskers. You can get up away from the screen because there is no action to, so to speak. All you have to do is listen to my voice and you can get a cup of coffee, cup of tea, soup, sandwich, whatever, cereal, doesn't make any difference. So there's some benefits in that regard as well. But the most important part is that it activates and improves your imagination, your manifesting ability, and that is the key to all of it. So let's get to it now. We have front row here, in the middle of the front row, very important card, the Oracle card, Building Blocks. The number in the upper right-hand corner is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. It's the beginning. Tens equal 1 with a little God coverage with the 0. So you are beginning something that is special, or you have the potential of beginning something that is very important, very special. You're building something. Early stages. Maybe it's simply something that's kind of floating around in your head, but that's where you're headed. And that's why the card Building Blocks. Okay. With the thought of building something or beginning such, let's go to the far left-hand side, bottom row, 3 of Swords. Unfortunately, the human condition is such that, generally speaking, the only time that we really get off center, the only time that we really get to moving is when we're hurting. Pain is a great motivator. You can see that around the world today, more than ever. And so, there is something in you that is suffering greatly. In fact, there are 3 swords right through the heart. Again, we're dealing with a manifesting reading, so it changes the tarot interpretation for me a little bit. And so the 3 swords, 3 of anything, very often is mind, body, spirit, the 3 parts of a human being. Somehow, you've had your heart broken, your spirit broken. Somebody's lied to you. You've taken in the wrong kind of information without knowing it. You've been deceived. Maybe, to some degree, you deceived yourself. But it is causing pain on all levels of your person, mind, body, spirit. And because of that, it has you looking towards the future. If you're like most people and you've been hurt enough, you're thinking to yourself, this could never happen. But, if I could just, whatever that idea is, whatever that feeling is, whatever that thought is. And that's what the 3 of Wands is all about. Potential. The guy in the card is looking forward into the unknown. He's a visionary. Has 3 swords, or not swords, but wands, holding on to one. He's made his choice. But the key is he's moving ahead. He's moving away from the pain. He's moving away from the 3 of Swords. He's moving away from the illusion, the delusion. He's doing it with hope. Because that's what the wands are all about. Positivity, hope, the prospect. And we're talking about building blocks. We're talking about building something. It feels like we're looking at building a new life somehow, getting away from the pain, moving to the future with the optimism. And interestingly enough, the last 2 cards in the bottom row are both Wands cards. First is the King of Wands. Kings always make the proclamation, right? So the idea is that you understand that you want to make more of your life in some regard. You want to feel plugged in. You want to feel enthusiastic. You want to feel positive. Walk away from that Three of Swords. You will have a chance. There is something coming your way. The Eight of Wands. Somehow, some way, some piece of information, somebody, a door will open. Some information will come in. And it will allow you to move forward. And that's really what the Eight of Wands is all about. Things speed up somehow. Opportunities come to you somehow so that you can build this new something. You can step away from the pain. You can step forward into the future. Admittedly, hesitatingly, because, if you've been hurt that much, once bitten, twice shy is the expression. You're not going to just leap ahead, but inside of you, there is that yearning, that hoping for the possibility of being plugged into a positive life. Not a perfect life, but something that's much better for you. Let's go up to the second row, and we begin with the Hierophant. Hierophant is the, they call him the Pope of the Tarot deck. Hierophant refers to organizations, group identity, belief systems. Through all that's been going on the first row, you are changing your belief systems. You're walking away from the pain, hopefully to a positive future. You're going to get a little help in that regard with the Eight of Wands, no doubt about it. And so what you're doing is literally reformulating on some level your belief system about someone, something significant. It's significant because it's part of building blocks, some area of your life being refurbished, rising from the ashes. Part of what you're going to need to do is to make sure that your value system is as tight as it can be, and that refers to the Four of Pentacles. Look at the way, you can just barely see it. He's holding on to the Four of Pentacles very tightly to his chest. He's not being cavalier. He knows exactly what's important to him. He knows why it's important, because that's what Pentacles are all about. People kind of simplify and put money. Money is valuable to a certain extent. Doesn't buy health, doesn't buy happiness, doesn't buy love, but it buys things. And we conflate that to mean that it's actually worthwhile. This guy in the Four of Pentacles knows really what's worthwhile to him, and he's hanging on to those basic principles. Not a lot, just four. But that's a basis. We're talking about building a foundation, four corners, very solid, very solid. Up next, we have the Page of Swords. Pages always change the storyline. This means you're changing your thinking. It's going to allow you to build blocks. The pages revitalize thinking, learning, embracing new challenges, honesty, integrity. And that may be what's going on right now. You're hitting a point where you're being honest with yourself. Because if you can be honest with yourself, you can be honest with everyone else as well. But the key to your integrity, to your honesty with yourself and others, is a good value system. And that, again, we see it with the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate in terms of self-worth. She knows what she's worth in a very positive way, in a very supportive way, in a very loving way, not narcissistic. She knows where her boundaries are. She knows why they're there. She knows what's important to her, and she knows why. And that's critical. If you're going to be building blocks, building something new, you got to walk away from the heartache. You got to look to a positive future. Something is coming to you shortly, maybe during the eclipse season coming up in the next month. But something's coming to you that will allow you to rearrange how you feel about something, what you believe about something. But the key to it, have good value system, including valuing yourself. If you can do that, the final card is the vice versa card up top, right in the middle. It is the Ace of Wands. It's in reverse, meaning that it is in a thoughtful process right now. You are thinking about and trying to feel about a positive change in your life. Something that you could get excited about. Something that you can say, yes, I am absolutely plugged into my life. I am not simply a spectator. I am a participator, but on a different level, in a different way, a positive way. What you're doing is literally blocking your future, using the word blocking to mean blocks, building your future. You're in that process. And so for the next, well, certainly up and through the eclipse season, which would probably, I think it runs April, May, something like that, you will have the opportunity to rebuild some area of your life that will be critical enough that it will change your life for the better if you choose. It's always in your hands. That's why I do Manifesting Tarot. So that's the reading for today. More tomorrow. I do a brand new read every day, 365. Hope you're here with me. But if not, between now and the next time you and I have a chance to do tarot together, peace and blessings.